Evening, it's Thursday evening and it's time with Tim. I don't have any one particular verse to go over. I have two or three verses to go over, but what I do have to go over is one word: indivisible. We used to say the Pledge of Allegiance when I was in school every morning. We would, after the bell would ring, we would stand up from our desk and we'd place our hand over our heart and we would say the Pledge of Allegiance. You remember the Pledge of Allegiance? It goes something like this: I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We used to say that. We used to be proud of that pledge. But unfortunately, we're not so indivisible anymore, are we? Won't be spending Thanksgiving with the family this year. Seems to be going around certain news media platforms or maybe even within your own family. It is sad, but unfortunately, that is what some families are telling those who voted differently than those who voted for their candidate, whether it was Trump or Harris. I watched a podcast or a post of a psychiatrist from Yale on MSNBC that told viewers that it is perfectly okay not to invite family over for Thanksgiving. It's going to be your time. You're going to be spending time with that person. And if you just can't agree with them politically, don't invite them. It's okay. One political commentator on Fox News a couple of days ago said that his mom said that he wasn't invited for Thanksgiving dinner. She did later on call him up and say, "You can come over Black Friday, but not Thanksgiving." He said, "Sorry, Mom, I'm going to be busy." It's sad to think that we have become so disrespectful and so irate and upset over a particular person winning that there are women out there that's advocating no sex, no pregnancies, and the rest of it while Trump's in office. And to go one step further than that, we've become so divisive and so disrespectful and disturbing that a female group called MATGA, MATGA, is advocating poisoning those men who voted for Trump. It's sad. It's sad that we have become that divisive. And you can find that one story about the female group on the New York Post from November the 10th, 2024. Look for Chris Neal, the author of the article. Have we become so divisive that we are now trashing or mutilating or other forms of destruction of person right to declare by a sign who they're going to vote for? I say this because there's video of people that are running up and pulling up or trying to pull up a sign that someone has out in the yard of who they want to vote for. There's a video of a person that sees a sign of their political opponent and they're so distraught and upset with that sign that they ran over it, and all of a sudden had retribution paid back to them because the person that put that sign up had put a board down with nails in it, and it gave the guy at least one or two flat tires. It's sad. And the guy that ran over the sign was cussing the person who put those nails out there for his tires to run over because he didn't like the person that he was voting for. Another person I seen that had a sign up declaring who they wanted to vote for, had rigged a light electrical charge up to it so that whoever came up and touched the sign to yank it out of the ground would get shocked. There's other videos of people that walked up to people's houses that had a particular flag of the person that they wanted to vote for, and they was determined to take that flag off their house or away from their truck in a public place, and was cussing at the person that had said flag, declaring who they wanted to vote for. Sad. Have we become so divisive that if the candidate that the other side, or have we become so divisive that if the candidate the others that we didn't or that we supported didn't win, that we immediately attack not only the intelligence of those who supported other candidate, but also their morality? Have we become that divisive? How have we become so divisive that it is that whoever voted for the other person has become nothing more than rubbish or refuse to be done away with? Sad, isn't it? Have we become so divisive that we fail to see the goodness of our neighbor and to see God in him or her, or however they may want to be identified as? Have we become so demanding of tolerance that if someone refuses to accept someone's pronouns or gender or genders or the furry state that they want to be identified as, that we immediately relegate those who oppose such ideas to hell? Sad. Sadly, we have become that divisive. We have become so divisive and polarized in our political and moral beliefs that we now refuse to invite family to a holiday set up uniquely in this nation to give thanks to the God that has given so much to this nation. Of course, it only goes to reason why we have become this divisive. The reason is we have forgotten God in our nation and in our everyday lives. We have forgotten the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. We have become so divisive so as to forget what Paul says, that we are to live with all men in peace as far as it depends on us, Romans 12:18. Or that we are to owe nothing to anyone except to love one another, for he who loves his neighbor hath fulfilled the law, Romans 13:8. Or maybe we have become so divisive that we have forgotten this verse. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever should believe in him should not perish, but should have eternal life. John 3:16. You know, back in the 80s, even into the early 90s, maybe even the mid 90s, you would see references to John 3:16 throughout the football stadium. Sadly, we don't see that no more, do we? Or maybe we have become so divisive as to forget that God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, both male and female, Genesis 1:27. And if we have forgotten such things, such verses, then we have surely forgotten that God made from one every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having appointed times and the boundaries of their habitation. Acts 17:26. Surely we can forgive each other's faults, whether real or not, in order to come together in this season of Thanksgiving and unite and work together for the common good of these United States of America. It's sad, isn't it, brothers and sisters, that we have really become so divisive as to wish ill will to those who opposed us politically. We have heard that if one or the other got elected, that the nation would fall off into oblivion. May that thought perish. May that thought perish. And all those who say such things or will such things, may they remember how good this nation is and how good it can be. Do we have faults? Of course we do. We have many faults. But if we try to attain what our pledge of allegiance to this flag of this nation says, to stand indivisible under God with liberty and justice for all, hopefully one day we can attain those things, or at least work to try to attain such things so that all men everywhere can see this nation once again as a beacon of light for liberty and for justice and for the pursuit of happiness, as long as it doesn't bring harm to your neighbor. Oh, how we have become so divisive. This year, this season, let's come back together. Let's invite family over who may have opposed us politically and ideology. And let's put away our differences. Hug each other. And sit down and give thanks to God for such wonderful blessings. Thank you.